Good morning. It is 10 o'clock a.m. and we are going to get started. I see a few more people joining us, but we just want to um, start with introductions. Thank you for joining us. I am Afton Valho. I am the student advancement coach slash high school graduation coach at War Hill High School as one of the co-principals for summer school.
My name is Stephanie Vermeer. I am the school improvement specialist at War Hill High School, and I am the other co-principal for the summer school session, which we are very excited to be starting next week.
And
good morning.
Gentle reminder, please, to turn your cameras off and mute yourselves as well. We are recording today's virtual open house session, and we are recording it and posting it live stream, and it will be posted later, for families who are unable to join us live to view at a later date. So thank you for honoring our request by turning your camera off and muting yourself so that we can have as clear a presentation as possible. Thank you all. So if we could have the PowerPoint up and ready to go, we'll begin. Quick note that the chat is open for questions. You can certainly hold them till the end, but if you want to go ahead and type it in the chat box at the bottom of your Zoom screen, that's fine as well. I will do the bulk of the talking. Ms. Vermeer will intervene as necessary, but she'll also be monitoring the chat to ensure we're able to address your questions as they arise. Again, thank you for joining us for this virtual open house. Thank you for collaborating with us and providing your children or child with the opportunity to recover as many classes as they can during our session or participate in the acceleration option as well. Okay, so today we're going to discuss what our session looks like this summer for our 5-week session of summer school, and we'll discover the program, important dates for you to make note of, what the handbook looks like, and what that encompasses, and what options are available for the recovery courses and those modules, as well as acceleration courses, and what that looks like as well. We'll finish with questions, and we're going to post them in the chat, and then our contact information will be there as well. For those of you just joining us, please turn your cameras off and mute yourself so that because we are recording live and posting this for later view, we just want to make sure we have as clear a presentation as possible with little distraction. Thank you.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Is it possible for you to move the laptop a little bit closer? You're echoing, I think, because of the microphone.
Thank you, Ms. Cox. Is that better? Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so next Tuesday, July 6th is our first day. So enjoy a long weekend celebrating the 4th of July with your friends and family. Eat well, rest, and then have your students join us rejuvenated and ready to start our session. So recovery courses, all students need to be in person at War Hill High School for the summer high school session. The acceleration is virtual, but the recovery. So I know we've been accustomed to working remotely or a hybrid option this past school year, but we really value the importance of every student being in our building, having direct contact and interaction with their recovery teachers every day for the 19 days that we are in session. Students should arrive about 7:55 every morning so that they can begin their first morning session from 8 to 10, and then they'll have another session from 11 to 1, and we value them being motivated, engaged, and focused for those 4 hours of work on their recovery courses. Transportation, we're working with them as we speak right now to provide transportation to summer school for the first time ever. In the past, that has not been an option, but we understand that the need to be here is huge, and so we're doing our part to make sure transportation is invited.
So with that being said, we did have a question about transportation. Our transportation department needed that information last week, and so we have already established our bus funds. If you request transportation at this point from the administrator, so ourselves, if you're in the recovery program, or if you're in ESY,
you would need to reach out to Ms. Grainer. They will investigate and determine if they're able to add to an existing stop. Otherwise, they are not adding any students at this time. So you can certainly request it, but at this time it is not guaranteed.
So ESY, contact Ms. Greener in central office. And recovery, as Ms. Premier said, you are more than welcome to request it. We cannot guarantee it, as that list was required to be submitted last week. We will absolutely do our best to make space. So if you are able to provide transportation for your child to attend the recovery session, we welcome them. Continue to reach out and let us know that you're still interested. So the acceleration courses are asynchronous, which means they're not live, and those students will work remotely. They begin on the 6th as well. Okay. So grab and go breakfast is going to be provided at 8 o'clock, and then lunch will be during the day between 10 and 11 for recovery students. Okay, so there's the dates again. Tuesday, the 6th through Thursday, August 5th. The program is Monday through Thursdays. Fridays are off, and everyone can enjoy a long weekend. Recovery is on site in person. The acceleration option is virtual, 8 to 1, Monday through Thursday. We just spoke about transportation. Reach out to us. Again, it cannot be guaranteed. Gathering the breakfast we just spoke about, 8 o'clock in the morning, students will eat in their classroom. From 8 to 10, they'll work. 10 to 11 will be a break for lunch and an SEL, social emotional learning block, which we'll discuss momentarily. They'll have lunch, return to their classes from 11 to 1 for 2 more hours of focused work on their modules. Health and safety, the same mitigation strategies from the school year will continue throughout our summer school session. Please ensure your student has their mask and keeps them on the entire time they're in the building around others. Thank you. Okay, this is what acceleration looks like. Asynchronous means they can log in whenever they need to throughout the day. They're working virtually. They should make sure they reach out to those instructors with questions as needed, but there is no in-person required component for the acceleration courses. So we're offering EPF, which is Econ and Personal Finance, and Health and PE1 as an acceleration option for students. The teachers are available, but the students do not need to come in. We do have space if they feel like they're not being as productive as they need to, and they can work in the media center on their acceleration courses, or if they need to meet with the teacher face-to-face or one-on-one. Transportation for the acceleration courses will not be provided by WJCC, so please ensure that that's set up and established if a child does need to come in for in-person support. Those classes begin July 6th as well. And to finish the course, once the child has finished the coursework, they need to earn their credential, their CTE credential, by taking an exam that will be offered late July and the first few days in August. It is virtual, but if your child would like to take that CTE credentialing exam in person, we can arrange that as well. Devices. So acceleration students should be using their personal devices. If you need one, then we have a loan agreement form that we have sent out to parents. Please remember to bring those on July 6th, anytime after 8 a.m. when you pick up your device. We'll swap the loan agreement form for a device for you. Recovery students will use WJCC laptops. They will be assigned to them within their classroom, but they must remain in the classroom. Students will not have the option of taking those devices home. We want to make sure that those devices remain in the recovery classroom and they can return to work on in that same spot, the same desk each day on their recovery course. Students can absolutely continue to work on recovery modules from home on a personal device. Okay. Please remember to turn in your devices from the 2021 school year if you have not. We are still in the process of collecting those. And in fact, if you try to log in on that laptop, you won't be able to. So please help us get those turned back in so that we can issue devices for summer session and the next school year. The dates to remember, we start Tuesday, July 6th. That's our first day of summer school. Our last day is August 5th, and we will conclude with a summer school graduation for those students who've earned all their credits required for high school. Students are expected to attend every day, so 19 session. 19 class days will be in session. Final grades will be submitted on August 5th by noon. That is a firm deadline as we have to take care of state reporting. So make sure your students are here every day and that they are working towards their final grades early August. The dates for the WISE testing for that EPS, Econ Personal Finance credit credential is July 8th, 28th, 29th, August 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. If there are conflicts, reach out to your child's teacher. We can be flexible there, but that's the end of towards the end of the summer school session. So we block those days off for those exams. So there are 2 slots. Your child can test at 9 a.m. or they can test at 11 a.m. And again, your child has the option. The majority of students usually take their exam remotely, as they did in the stream, but we certainly will offer an in-person option if necessary. Okay, important topics. Attendance is key. It is mandatory for recovery students. So for the first time, we have almost 200 students who are registered, and we have a wait list that is upwards of 40 students. So know that having your place is pretty sacred. There's another student who is doing everything that they can to move from the wait list to registered and accepted. So we expect to see all of our recovery students the morning of July 6th by 8 a.m. in your seat, ready to go, focused, engaged to earn as many credits as you can during our session. So attendance is mandatory. We know it's summer. We know you may have vacation planned. Please reach out to us and we can let our attendance associate know what dates you may be on vacation. If you have a personal device, we encourage you to please work from home during those dates, but otherwise, attendance is mandatory. Not work, not hanging out. We just really want you to take advantage of this opportunity to get this work done as best you can within the 5 weeks. So within the handbook, there's a policy that we're going to say up to 3 absences is considered our number of, we may have to withdraw you and allow that space to a student who's more committed to the program. So please know that attendance is mandatory and it's key for the student success. Parties, if your child is starting, we understand you have an appointment that you made in March or April, and there may be a dentist or doctor's appointment. Just provide documentation from that physician and we can update attendance. The grab and go breakfast is available. Lunch is hot lunch. I was told it's not going to be a bad lunch. Hot lunch will be provided in the middle of the day from 10 to 11 so students can have a break from their coursework. They'll eat in the cafeteria. They'll have time to interact and engage with peers. Students are more than welcome to bring a snack if they'd like. Student dress code, we want to remind families that this is a school setting and we will be enforcing the dress code policy. So we're not heading out to the beach. We can do that after 1 o'clock, but just make sure your child is dressed appropriately with a hat. They should be dressed for school with their mask. Communication, please feel comfortable reaching out to your child's teacher or us with any questions or concerns. If there's something that's going on and we're not aware of it, then we aren't able to support you and find the best solution. So please make sure you keep those lines of communication open with us and we will with you. So there's a document there, which is the student handbook for summer school that can be downloaded. Okay, we ask you to sign and return that last page, which means you're in agreement with the expectations of our summer school session. Okay, so Ms. Hart is our summer school counselor for this session. And if she wants to speak about the social and emotional learning opportunity, she certainly can. But we've set up some speakers and opportunity for students to hear from representatives from Thomas Nelson or New Horizons about opportunities that they have for their future, for their careers. And then additionally, the social emotional learning block, which I spoke of between 10 and 11 every day, allows students to focus on their well-being, to interact with peers, to speak with counselors or their teachers. So we've included that block within our summer school session so that students, yes, can focus on the recovery credits, but also focus on themselves. It's been an extremely challenging year for everyone, so we make sure we address all needs for our well-being. So the following recovery courses will be provided. Oh, there's Ms. Hart. Ms. Hart, would you like to share anything else?
I just wanted to say hello, and that I will be here all summer and available to both students and parents, so feel free to reach out to me. The college application assistance, of course, is as needed, so a lot of students may not need that yet, but we will be including some lessons about how to search for either colleges or whatever post-high school opportunities students may want. And again, feel free to reach out to me through normal email, and there's also a phone number where you can reach me, which of course I don't know off the top of my head, but I can give that to you in 1 second. That number is 914-0886 if anybody wants to reach me during the workday, and you can also text me on that number. And again, I'm here to assist, so feel free to reach out to me. Thank you guys so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Ms. Hart. One other aspect, Ms. Hart is available for one-to-one sessions or small group sessions as well. Students will complete a needs assessment during the first week during the SEL block, and that'll help us gauge, small group, whole group, one-on-one. So it's important that, it'll take about 5 minutes, but when they complete that needs assessment, it'll give us a better idea of where we can provide that support. If your child may be in need of some one-to-one with.
Excuse me, you're too low.
Do you
We
speak
can't
louder?
hear you talking.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me move closer. Thank you. Okay, I gotta put on my teacher voice. I'm sorry for those of you who weren't able to hear me. Please know that this recording will be posted on the district's website after our session, so you can go back and listen to it again. I'll do my best to speak louder. Thank you, ma'am, for bringing that to our attention. Thank you, Ms. Hart. Again, as I was saying, if you would like to reach out to her, you certainly can. And she will be assisting with that SEL block, so we can focus on, everyone's well-being. The recovery courses that students are able to earn credits for are listed there. So yes, your child registered for an initial course, but if they need to recover more than one, then that's certainly an option. As they work self-paced through one course and are able to finish the second, if they're motivated, engaged, and do what they need to do, they have 5 weeks. They could potentially recover up to 3 courses or more if necessary. So their teachers will engage with them to monitor pacing, to provide remediation. It's not a true direct instruction approach. These modules are set up that students can work at their own pace. The recovery option is in person, but they can also work on those courses at home. So again, attendance is required 8 to 1 every day. Please put aside everything in your schedule that may conflict with this window. We want to honor the spots that we have available and be respectful of the fact that there's a wait list. So if there's a student who is not attending, not motivated, then we need to make sure that that space is for a student who is committed. So students have recovery modules in Edmonton, which is our learning management system. Teachers will be working with them. They have pacing guides. They have dates listed so they know about where they need to be to complete the course in a timely manner. So the instruction for students is there, but it's more so let's focus on a skill. Is your child able to read a map and identify where this answer or information is? Is your child able to take this formula for math and plug in those numbers and use that formula to find the right equation? So teachers will be addressing individual skills with students as needed. They're going to speak a little louder. I'm sorry, you said they're still struggling to hear you. I'm sorry. Is that better? Okay, I have to remember to almost yell. Sorry. Okay, thank you, Stephanie. Teachers are going to check in with you and students frequently, and they're also going to make sure you get a progress report around July 19th, which is our halfway point. And that way you'll know how far your students progress. They may have potentially finished the course by then, but if they need to move a little faster, you'll have that information as well. Okay, the acceleration courses for health and PE and econ personal finance work a little differently. Those courses are virtual, which means students will work from home or remotely. Yes, they have the option to come in the building and work in the media center as necessary, but that's a different approach than the recovery courses.
Specific to EPS.
So specifically, thank you, to EPF, Econ Personal Finance. So those students will start again on July 6th. If they need to work with their teachers, they need to make an appointment. So teachers are housed in the building at War Hill, but students need to make an appointment if they'd like to work with a teacher between 8 and 1 o'clock on Thursday. They have 5 modules for EPF, and there's 1 for each week of the summer school session. So at the end of a week, a module's assignments are due. They progress in order, modules 1 through 5, 1 for each week of summer school. So the deadline dates for assignments are there for each week. They should be submitted in that order each day by the end of each week. So they must use Chrome, Google Chrome, as they access these assignments, and they're all in Canvas and the Canvas Dropbox. So that's how students need to access their courses and submit assignments through Canvas. Canvas will be the learning management system for the acceleration for EPF, and students should be familiar with that because they were on it for the entire school year. The grades are based upon discussions, Dropbox assignments, quizzes, tests, and ever 5 modules. So that's all a part of the curriculum of EPF. So check Canvas announcements each week, Monday, for the week's agenda of assignments and announcements. So when your child logs into Canvas sometime over the weekend, there should probably already be an announcement there from their child's teacher with information about the first day, starting, etc. And you should check your email daily for announcements and directions as well. Their primary means of communication for an online course is email. So please make sure your email is up to date. Make sure parents have the most up-to-date information on file so that they communicate with you directly. So, because it's acceleration, they're acknowledging that families may want to go to town for vacation. Take your laptop along if you absolutely can. All students must finish their course and assignments by the end of summer school, August 5th. So remember that firm deadline. We said August 5th at noon is when we hope to have everything done for all students. So remember that WISE Financial Literacy Exam is a credential that students need to take that exam to earn their credit for EPF. Acceleration Health and PE. The course content, again, will be available in Canvas. And so the fitness component means that students will need a tracking device, Fitbit, Apple Watch, iPhone, pedometer, fitness tracker of some sort to maintain physical activity. Students will be required to upload a screenshot from the device showing a minimum of 5 activity days. And so these are just a few examples. So there's exercise at home, outside, at a local gym. Students can also swim. You could do roller skating, you could surf. So we can be creative with what that activity looks like, but students are required to, they can need a total of 10,000 steps per day or an hour of workout activity, and their heart rate needs to be above 120. So the screenshot should reflect that date for which you are submitting. So as teachers go in to monitor the submission for that date, it should match, it should correlate. So make sure that students are taking those screenshots, uploading and submitting their activities to their teachers. In the grade book, all grades will be reflected in the View grade book, not Canvas. So yes, they are working in Canvas. Their work is submitted through Canvas, but their grades will appear in View. Grades will be updated weekly for health and PE, and if assignment has a score of 1, please see teacher comments. So clearly that explains why there's a caveat there. So if there's a score of 1, see the teacher comments. So remember, students are required to have some type of device that helps them track physical fitness. If you need a device, please email Ms. Vermeer or myself. We have fitness tracker devices that your child can loan. for the 5-week session, and we'll just send you a loan agreement form so that you can pick those devices up Tuesday, July 6th after 8 o'clock. Okay, I may go back a little bit just because it may have been unclear to hear me, but I just want to remind you all that we're offering recovery options for students who may not have passed the course for the 2021 school year. They have the opportunity to work in person. That's mandatory. Attendance is mandatory. And we're just recovering credits that students may not have earned during the 2021 school year. We have about 200 students who were scheduled to see on Tuesday. Remember that attendance is required in person for the recovery option. The acceleration option is health and PE and econ personal finance only. Those 2 courses will be offered virtually or remotely for acceleration. Devices must remain within our school building for recovery students. We just want to make sure they have access to a device, the same device every day for 19 days that we are in session. Grab and go lunch will be provided for breakfast, and lunch will be served in the cafeteria every day between 10 and 11. We also have social and emotional lessons planned for students to engage and interact as we focus on our well-being and recover from such a challenging year. I think that's the bulk of everything we need to present to you today. If there are questions, we can address those now.
I've got a couple questions that were in the chat. So to start,
And I've been trying to answer the questions in the chat so that you guys could
follow along and have them as well.
well. But the question about transportation, I think we went over it. Transportation has been requested previously. We will certainly reach out to transportation if you do not have it and need it, but it cannot be guaranteed at this point. Recovery versus acceleration. Recovery courses, that is the courses that are being completed in person, are only available to those students who have previously failed the course and need the credit to meet a graduation requirement. So you cannot repeat a course that you passed with a D- to get a new grade during the summer session. You can repeat it during the school year and have the grades averaged, as I understand it, but you cannot take summer recovery to replace a lower grade from the previous year. Acceleration courses are for those students who just want to get a credit out of the way so that they have more room in their regular school year schedule to take other courses. We did have a question about fitness tracking. Specifically, what if your child is too young to go to a fitness center? Questions should be directed primarily to teachers if you have specific questions like but students can fulfill the fitness requirement with any activity. It doesn't need to be within a fitness center. It can be walking in the street, playing basketball in their driveway, et cetera, as long as it raises their heart rate and that they are tracking it on a device. Someone asked about students with IEPs or individualized education plans. We do have 2 special ed teachers who are serving as resource teachers to try to support students and ensure they are receiving accommodations that they need. And so we will make teachers aware of students with IEPs, and we do have those 2 teachers on staff to help.
So that means that a student may be assigned to a specific classroom based on the content area, and our special ed teachers will ensure their accommodations are in place. They are to look at service minutes. They will retest aloud, just as those accommodations are provided during the school year. Those same accommodations will be provided during the summer school session. And thank you to our teachers, our summer school teachers who are joining us. And thank you again to all of you for taking time out of your schedules to hear what's going on for our summer school session this year. We're looking at additional questions in the chat. Thank you for sending those. Thank you for your patience. I am usually referred to as a loud person, so I'm surprised to hear that I was speaking too lowly. So thank you for your patience.
Thank you very much. This PowerPoint and presentation has been recorded and will be available on the school division website beginning at approximately 11:30 today. If you have any questions, you may contact the school administrators directly, or you can send a question through our web email. which is also posted online, and we will make sure we get that to them.
Great, thank you. Happy summer. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Thank you all. We really appreciate it and look forward to meeting the children.
Yes,
I do have one question.
yes, sir.
Not the health and PE, but the other class. Will it be like one teacher specifically for that one class during the summer, or will it be like multiple teachers helping out with that one class?
The econ personal finance class, is it for recovery? Or
I'm taking it for the credit. I haven't taken it yet. This is my first time taking it.
so there are 3 separate teachers for the acceleration course. And when you log into Canvas, you'll find that information regarding that course.
Okay.
3 teachers. You can email them directly to set up appointments to meet with them in center at War Hill.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, hello. What supplies do the kids need for class, like for Algebra 2?
What supplies did you ask?
Yes.
None. We have writing supplies and pen and paper. We have calculators. The curriculum is all online, so they just really need to show up.
Oh, okay. So for even computer work, they're going to do it all there. He won't have any homework to do?
No homework. So the modules are set up that it's self-paced through assignments, pre-test, post-test, maybe a tutorial, which is some instruction. It's all embedded within the module for the class, and they can continue working on the same module at home on a personal device, but there's no homework.
Okay. And if he has a question or a problem,
There's a teacher in the classroom, absolutely.
okay, they'll be able to help him through whatever question.
Yes, absolutely. Any question, any concept that they may be struggling with. Teachers can work in small groups. They can provide remediation. They're there to support the student where they need as they work through the course at their own pace.
So whatever, let's say, for example, there's an issue that day, that moment, the teacher can get them through to finish that work that day.
They're in the room with them, absolutely.
Okay, because that was my concern, because during the school year, the problem was if he didn't understand something, he'd come home, not do it, and then, that's how the problem started. I don't want to make sure that he cannot leave that classroom because he does not know something.
Yes.
He won't be able to leave unless he knows what to do there.
Yes, ma'am.
and get it done.
You can certainly reach out to us individually with your child's name, and
Yeah.
we can make sure we're clear on who the teacher is. Make sure you have that information, but the teachers will be monitoring students' pacing. They'll see, oh, this assessment you didn't do well on. Let's look at specific components that you struggled with and try again.
Okay.
So definitely it's live, it's in person. That's why attendance is mandatory. We want your child here. We want to make sure that they're really grasping the concepts to build on their foundations for the next school year.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Others? If something comes up, please reach out to us. We are here every day, 7:30 to 1:30. You can certainly send us an email as well. Mr. Meerstat, to working with these students and ensuring they are able to earn these credits and so they can be back on track for the upcoming school year. We've got 5 weeks, but we're excited about this opportunity and look forward to being extremely productive. So thank you for entrusting us with your child for the session of the next 5 weeks. Again, we're here if you need us, and we wish you and yours a safe summer.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you.